Check it out, St. Louis. Mini golf, a carousel, and a big old wheel. No, it's not the fair in town. It's the brand new Union Station.
Good morning, family. It's time to hit the streets. I've got good news today. It's time to be the change. It's time to stand up, get up. 'Cause it's time to let up.
You know, we're all about community on the Thread, and now we've got a brand new place to commune. What's up, Michael?
Hey, what's going on, Tim? Welcome to the St. Louis Wheel.
I can't wait.
St. Louis Wheel is our 200-foot observation wheel. It's enclosed, so it's 72 degrees all year round. We have 42 gondolas with our one VIP gondola that has 4 captain's chairs, glass floor. You can basically see 20-mile radius of the city. You know, I think it's definitely positive for the city. Between the wheel, the soda fountain, the carousel, mini golf, also our fire show. It's just awesome.
Oh, Michael, that's the one with the glass bottom.
That's the one with the glass bottom, the VIP.
You were VIP.
You said it. Hey, is there room for me and my peeps?
Absolutely.
Come on, you're riding with me. Let's go. Oh, it's my first ride on the St. Louis Wheel. Is this awesome or what? We're really getting off the ground. And speaking of getting off the ground, I want to introduce you to a ministry that got off the ground simply by one man deciding to get some Bibles up off the ground in his house. I'm going to introduce you to Stephen and Love Packages.
Well, in the spring of 1975, I had a little stack of Decision magazines from Billy Graham and a couple old daily devotionals and a couple old Bibles sitting in the corner of my dining room. And every time I walked through there, God kind of just pointed his finger at me and said, "Steve, you're wasting that." So I argued with the Lord for about 3 months and told him I was going to use it to prepare lessons and so forth. He said, "No, you're not. You're going to leave it sit there, you're going to spill a Coke on it, you're going to throw it away." I said, "Okay, God, I'm going to waste it." But I don't know what to do with it. I knew some men that had just graduated from a Bible college and they were going home to their home countries. And so I wrote them a letter and I said, "Can you use English literature, and if so, how much and how soon?" And it seemed like the letters were only gone a couple of days. Letters were back and said, "Yes, we can use as much as you can get here as soon as you can get it here." We just started collecting our own from our own church, and that first year, from August to January, we shipped 60 little boxes. But as I would go to the Baptist chicken dinner or the Methodist pancake supper and sit with the people in the community that I knew, they'd say, "What have you been doing, Steve?" And I said, "I've been collecting old Bibles and Sunday school material and sending it overseas. People don't have any." And they go, "Wow, we've got a whole closet full of that stuff. Can we bring ours over to you too?" We had stuff in the front porch, the back porch, the living room, the dining room. We had stuff everywhere. And the second year we did 3.5 tons out of the basement. Well, we moved from 3.5 to 7 tons to 11 tons. And last year we shipped 1,700 tons of literature around the world. The people that do the statistics tell us that every piece of literature, whether it's a devotional or a Bible or whatever, that we put in a third world country is going to be read by a minimum of 20 people. So this year we're going to send enough for 50 million people, times 20. That's 1 billion reads. You know, we need a lot of volunteers. You know, all these people that are running these machines and packing these things, the 3 of us that work here, we never pack anything.
We come over here once a month now because, number one, we love God, and to realize the impact that every little piece of literature that we handle makes on the world. It's almost impossible to explain the joy that it creates.
It's wonderful because books and things are very expensive for a villager to buy, and they wouldn't have the money to do that.
I liken it to a stone being thrown in a pond. There's a ripple effect that takes place from that. And this material, when it goes into these countries, there's a ripple effect from that. One person gets saved, they lead 3 or 4 others to Christ. Then all those are reaching out to others.
2 days I celebrate my 70th birthday. And so I'm getting kind of old, and I think to myself, can I do this? How long can I do this? But it's been a joy to my heart. I mean, I just couldn't see myself doing anything else. I don't understand the full extent of it, but every morning the staff and I, we pray for 750 million people to be born again because of the literature we sent to the nations. And we believe that. There's pastors all over the world that they do not have a copy of a Bible. That's really hard to grab a hold of, but I mean, we have so much.
The most rewarding part about working here at Love Packages is the fact that I know I'm doing something important. I'm doing something eternal. I am putting my hand to the kingdom's work, and people's lives and their destinies and their eternities will be changed because of what we are doing here.
Oh, that ministry has really taken off. I mean, and it all started with just trying to make use of some Bibles laying around the house. And look where it's grown, all those countries they're servicing. Amazing. Talk about up, and away. Check us out right now. We're at the very top of the brand new St. Louis wheel. Check out the view. 20-mile radius you can see in each direction. Pretty cool. And look at this. We can't only see the top, we can see the bottom because we're in the glass bottom car. Big wheel, keep on turning. Proud Mary, keep on burning. Cause we're rolling. Oh, speaking of rolling, that reminds me of another ministry that got started just by somebody stepping into one of their passions. We're talking about Rollin For Backstoppers.
Rollin For Backstoppers is an organization that was founded 9 years ago, and the purpose was to support backstoppers. We found a need to educate as well as include other parts of the community, and therefore being able to support the families a lot better, and also educate people on what the importance of backstoppers. There was a slight disconnect, especially when you come to some of the minority communities and everything else like that, and we felt it was our responsibility to provide that information, provide the education, and also provide another means of support for the Backstoppers organization. One of our first events that we've ever done was the actual skating event, and especially in our community, that is a big thing. That's one of the foundations. That's one of the things that we've always done since we were kids. And right here at Skate King, a adult skate event, which that's been our foundation. It started off a long time ago, and it's been there the whole time. And they pack the place.
All skaters are more than welcome. Even if you're not a skater, you're more than welcome. If we want to teach you how to skate, you're more than welcome to come.
We also will have at the same time a big roll of remembrance, which will include a bunch of the bikes, motorcycles, and ride throughout the community to show support for the fallen.
It's a thrill the whole time. You're just nothing but cheer in your heart, you know, get goosebumps going down the arms. It's love every minute of it.
When you're able to tap into the interest, then you're able to open up those ears and those eyes a little bit more, and then it's easier to educate.
As you can see here, this is people meeting people and doing what they need to do to try to bridge the gaps.
What's important is the people getting together to support Backstoppers, and it increases awareness. You being here, other people being here, people become more and more aware of what Backstoppers does. And our mission is to take care of families of police, fire, and EMS officers killed in the line of duty, and those that are catastrophically injured also.
And I can't imagine a spouse saying goodbye to their a husband or wife saying goodbye to their husband and wife every day, not knowing whether they're going to come home or not, and what happens if they don't come home.
Anytime that people can gather together to support those who are looking out for us, that are there to help us when we need help, it just doesn't get any better than that.
I like boots on the ground. I like people that are there to show their support and go door to door if we have to shake hands and see how we can take this community that's in so much turmoil right now and try to get it back on track. And I don't think you can do that from the 50th story. I think that's got to be done from the ground level.
How was it?
That was amazing.
Fantastic. You ready for some more fun?
Well, yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Our first mission is bring glory to God. That's why we're here. We have a talent, it just happens to be banking.
So M1 Bank is banking on a mission fueled by the power of purpose.
It gets a point in your life where you got to live it every day, not just believe it.
I'm believing that this is going to catch on and we're all going to shred up.
For us in our house, this is how we're going to serve the Lord and His purpose. And we're going to do it through the financial institution that happens to be called M1 Bank.
Hey friends, let's be honest. Nobody knows what the future holds, but we all know what we want our future to look like. Lower taxes, guaranteed income, financial stability. Sound pretty good? Now, all you have to do is call an attorney, an insurance agent, a money manager, and a tax advisor. Or you can call the one place that has it all under one roof. Our friends at Circle of Advisors secure us. In 20 years, not a single client has lost even a dime due to market volatility. They've walked with the thread since day one to help secure our future, and they'll do the same for you too. What? Our time's almost up together already? You mean I gotta wait till next Saturday? That's way too long. We gotta catch up during the week. I got a great idea. Hey, why don't you follow us on social media? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You know, we've got content that doesn't actually fit on our 30-minute show, right? And we're adding new messages all the time, so follow us, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's our way to keep up with you throughout the week, and we can thread up all week long. Follow us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. See you soon. Hey, Threadheads, you no doubt know Don Brown.
Don Brown Chevrolet? Don Brown Chevrolet. Don Brown Chevrolet.
And you probably know that Don has a flair for fashion and a knack for cars, but he also has a heart for people.
I learned from my father a long time ago, it's not about one person, it's about the entire community. It is a car business, but it's a people business. It's about the people. It's not about the products, it's about the people.
If you're in the market for a car, come to Don Brown, where it's people over process.
And we're proud to be part of the Thread family, and we'd love to be part of your family.
Ha ha! This is one wild ride. Got lions and horses and rhinos, oh my. Hey, speaking of wild rides, you know who's had one? My good friend Amy. I met her when she was a St. Louis Rams cheerleader. We did several pieces together, and the photographer I worked with at the time and myself both looked at her and said, and she could be an actress in Hollywood. Well, guess what? She went to Hollywood and did just that. She became an actress. And now she came back to her home in Granite City and is using her passion of acting to do ministry. Meet my friend Amy.
So we met when I was cheering for the NFL for the St. Louis Rams cheerleaders, and there was this debonair man that walked into our facility, and all this started, he started doing these kicks and these leaps, and he was hilarious.
We were the home of the Rams, so I figured we were also home of the Rams cheerleaders, so we had ourselves a slumber party.
Yeah, maybe we could get that clip up and show it to everyone.
Oh, we've got it, believe me. If I have to come back in here again, I'm taking away your pom-poms.
So since then, I graduated with a double major in theater and communications, and then I went off to Hollywood. I've been very lucky to do a lot of work on television and film.
So you went away to Hollywood, but something brought you home. What
Sure
brought
did.
you home?
Oh, I got married here in St. Louis about a year and a half ago, and my uncle's a wonderful figure in my life, and he hasn't been in the best health. And I'm homesick for my family and for my community of Granite and St. Louis all the time. So I came home and I started my company, Holland St. James Entertainment. So I'm gonna come back to the Midwest on and off and teach workshops here. Faith has always been something that's been very important to me. And my company, I consider a faith-based company. So for me, the greatest blessing has been that I know He's there and I know He has His hand on me to continue this work. So that's the best blessing. Fame and money is great, but if you don't have that connection, that where to go to the next day. So to continue to do work that I can tell those messages of love, that's really what I hope to be able to do as a thank you for Him being in my life.
I want to read something to you. This is from you. You said, P.S. I just booked a movie in Nashville with faith-based director Chris Dowling. William Morris Endeavor is funding the project. It is amazing by coming home to help my mother with my uncle how God has continued to show me the way. How did that come about?
Well, to go to a place of feeling super broken and super lost, to then be doing this production and being so overwhelmed with all of the many roles to play, and then to get a call, could there be any greater blessing or answer that God is there right now and 100% telling me, keep it up, don't give up, and keep spreading the message.
We talked about you often after we shot that piece, because we saw your passion would say, she's gonna make it, whatever she wants to do. And for me to see you doing it, my heart swells. So I'm just so excited for you that you've been able to step into your passion and the way God is using your passion to reach others.
That means so much to me. You know, you doubt yourself a lot and you're always rejected. And so for kids to know that that's part of what we do, and if we can keep doing it, that's a stepping stone for the next people that want to do it.
You never know how these threads are going to come back together. This thread that started so many years ago when we were in two totally different places.
Absolutely.
God brings it full circle.
100%.
Awesome.
God bless you.
You as well. Is that awesome or what? I mean, Amy is doing her thing. She came back to help serve her family and her community, and she's found a way to do ministry right through her passion of acting. She's gonna do big things. Oh, hey, is that a wedding couple over there? I got some questions. Oh, it's time for the hot seat right here on the thread, yeah. And we found a couple of newlyweds here at the wheel. We got Miranda and Andy, or better known as Mirandy. There you go. Are y'all ready to play? Yeah! Here's how the game works. You got 30 seconds, 5 questions. Clock will start when I ask the first question, and our category is wheel. Okay. Wheel. Are you ready for this? By the way, they skipped out. Nobody knows we're getting married today. They do now! All right, here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
First question. Show with Vanna White and Pat Sajak is called?
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, there you go. You steer your car with this.
Steering wheel.
Yeah! A unicycle has one
wheel.
Yeah! Finish the lyric. Rock me, mama, like a wagon. Rock me, mama, yeah. And finally, the newest attraction at Union Station is?
The wheel!
Yeah! Hey, Miranda, guess what?
What?
Well, first of all, you're married. But secondly, you conquered the hot seat right here on the thread. That's how it's done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
On both fronts.
Thank you.
Hey Threadheads, we're excited about a new tool we have that makes it even easier for you to support the mission of the Thread. Go to our website, thethreadstl.com, and on that main page, just hit the donate button, and it'll take you to the next screen, which gives you several options. You've got $13.34 at the top, also $25, $50, or $100. Whoa, Tim, back that trailer up. What'd you say, $13.34? What's that all about? Well, that's a reminder of the verse that drives the mission of the Thread. John 13:34. As I have loved you, love one another. Those are Jesus' words, and it's a great reminder of what drives the mission of the Thread. So you could click on that, or you have those other options, or if there's another gift on your heart, you can customize your own amount. And then at the bottom of the page, you can make it either a one-time gift or a monthly. We'll click that, hit next, and it takes you to the screen where you can fill out your information, and then there's just one more step. You put in your credit card information, and just like that, you've helped us thread up, y'all. Join the team. We're waiting on you. Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Tim. You ready to meet this week's USA Mortgage Changemaker?
You know I am.
Come on.
All right, Jerry, tell me how you're making a change.
Tim, I'm making a change by participating with an organization in St. Charles. It's called Hearts and Hope for Uganda. The organization, we sponsor 600 kids now, and it's growing just from people here locally. So we actually provide the education, school uniforms, and a meal every day. There's a carpentry shop, a sewing shop, and we also teach them how to run the school as well, so they can actually have a business on their own.
What's it done for you to be a change maker, to be involved in something that's bigger than yourself?
You know, it was interesting when I first went, it was just out of curiosity. Then when you come home after seeing something like that, it changes you from the inside out. It really does. It opens your eyes to the needs of the community, whether it's globally or here locally, and you want to see how you can help people.
Wow, Kelly, another great story.
Absolutely. There'll be another one next episode.
Until then, you find your unique way to become a change maker. Is this sweet or what? I'm at the brand new soda fountain at Union Station. I'm checking out their freak shakes. Look at these things. One for Breast Cancer Awareness Month and one for the birthday shake. Amazing. I got all kinds of candy. I mean, I'm like a kid in a candy shop out here. Or like a kid with a pony, as in helping hands and horses. Bill had some property that he had no idea what to do with. And then he came up with a way to serve the community in a sweet way.
12 years ago, we started as a horse therapy for special needs children. We started with 4 children and 2 horses. Now we got 15 horses and 56 kids, and a waiting list of 3 years or 70 kids on the waiting list right now. I had this property, and one thing that happens, I think, Tim, is you say, what in the world are you doing here with this property? How can you make it useful? And I like horses, and I like kids. And I thought, you know what, rather than just sit around eating and doing nothing, let's do something with it.
My buddy, who started this with Mr. Jameson, said we need a special ed teacher, and that was me.
A friend just invited me, and I love horses, and I've always loved children, and so perfect combination.
So we have this $4,000 therapy saddle that holds these little people, and you put them in that little saddle, and the first thing you see is a smile come across their face.
Hi!
It's my cowboy.
You're gonna smile at me again. You're looking like a jockey. You are ready to ride.
And then their parents go, he's riding a horse. So we give parents an opportunity to see their children do things that other kids would love to do, and their kids doing it. When you get up on a horse, there's something about, whoa, I'm big and I can do this.
What do you say to your horse? Walk on.
The therapy, I think, is good, and bonding with the horses is good. And you put it together, and I think it works.
We look at the IEPs, we pull the occupational therapy and the physical therapy goals off of that, and we translate that into what is happening here on the horse. So if it says bilateral hand strength, then we say we're going to hold his hands in the reins, he's going to move to the left and he's going to move to the right. And that's where I get to use all my special ed stuff. Thank you, Special School District. I mean, I learned a lot and I get to use it.
We have some warriors now that are involved in it, and that is working well.
The people around me really notice a huge improvement in my overall demeanor to where I don't quite have that military punch and everything where it can kind of cut the corners down. So it helps being here with the children. You see a lot of them with physical limitations that are out here, and they're pushing themselves. Like a lot of times we do exercises with the kids where they're lifting their arms up, and it's kids that would normally be sitting in their wheelchair or not be able to do these kinds of things.
There's a lot of little miracles that we see happen here. We've seen them get out of the car and run to a horse, and the parents said, I didn't know Jimmy could run.
Some of them that wouldn't speak would speak. Some of them that wouldn't smile would smile. Some of them with autism that wouldn't make eye contact would make eye contact.
Because I'm 72, I have tried to think that I cannot run next to that horse in the Special Olympics much longer. And then I think, yeah, I can. So they're gonna have me out here in the wheelchair, running next to the horse.
I've had cancer twice, and sometimes have a tendency to want to feel sorry for myself, but when I came here and I saw some of these children, it's like, okay, get over it, because they haven't had a life. You have had a life, even though you've had problems.
I think God works in his own way. I'm sure that he had an influence with this. It's been therapy for me. Who would have thought? And the volunteers are wonderful people. The parents of these kids are wonderful people. And so on Wednesdays and Thursdays, all I see is wonderful people. And it's great.
Oh, you gotta love that ministry. Wherever our lane is, whatever road we're walking, we're supposed to mirror Jesus, to love with the love that he loved us, to care with the care that he cared for us, to move to other people's needs the way he moved to our greatest need. That's what we're called to be. I mean, look at Amy Holland. I mean, she's got a passion for acting, and now she's found a way to use her passion for acting to hold up the gospel, to do ministry. You gotta love that. How about Bill Jameson? I've got this land, I don't know what to do with it. I love horses and I love kids, so I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have a ministry for special needs children, and I'm gonna use horses as therapy to minister to them. How about Stephen with love packages? I got these Bibles, what am I gonna do with them? I'm gonna get them into the hands of the people who need them. I'll find a way. And Lieutenant Cheryl, she wanted to do something for Backstoppers. Well, we roller skate. How can I use that as a means of supporting this important need in our community? You see, in Genesis, it says that we're created in God's image, and we're told to be fruitful and multiply. That doesn't mean just go and have a lot of kids. It means that, but it means multiply my image. Not just multiply kids, multiply my image. Bear my image here, bear my image there. We're to bear his image wherever we are. And it's right in the lane that we're called to. You know, last week I talked to you about my father and turning 80 and talking about how he didn't want to be a pastor. He's never talked like a pastor. Hey, I'm not supposed to be a pastor. And when he got home in that mindset, his mother told him something very profound. She said, you know what? If God's calling you to ministry, maybe he's just calling you to be Doug. Try that one on for size. He wasn't calling my dad to be like the pastors he'd seen or to be like the pastors he'd sat under. He's telling him to be a minister through Doug, who Doug is. I thought my ministry was supposed to be 4 walls and a steeple, but God showed me no. I'm putting you back on that platform of television that I gave you for 16 years in St. Louis, and that's going to be where you speak for me. It's going to be in your lane. All these folks that we featured today, they've just mirrored God's image right where they are, loving people right where they are through what they do. That's all he's asking for you too. Are we all going to be pastors and ministers at churches? No. But we're all going to be image bearers. We're going to be a kingdom of priests, like it says in Peter, because that's what we're called to be, a kingdom of priests. But in our own lanes. What do you do? What's your walk? That's the walk he's asking you to walk for him now. We just walk for him and live for him and love with the love that he's loved us to everyone who crosses our path. That's the mission, that's the call. And guess what? It's even better when we thread up and do it together. Well, that brings us to the end, but not the end. You know what I'm talking about.
High kicks.
High kicks. And herkies.
And herkies. I can't do those anymore. Don't tell my agent.
I won't say a word. She can still herky if she has to. Just give her.
That'll be the next film.
Right, just give her a week to stretch.
Tune in.
Spot Media Production Group.